Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the beginning of a brand new week. I'm Mike O'Mara. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. That's Rob Spiewak.
Hi, folks.
In your upper right-hand corner, down at the bottom of your screen, is our executive producer, business manager, travel agent, Las Vegas liaison, advertising relations manager,
Technical advisor.
Carla O'Mara, relationship director, Josh Soroka, Birds fan, Orioles fan.
Yes.
All positives.
I want to
moving
lead
forward.
with baseball. I want to talk about the
America
important-
loves it, Mike. It's America's pastime.
It's the great. It was referred to for decades as the great American pastime.
Indeed.
And I think at its best, a great baseball game is one of the finest activities in sport. I love the game.
What about a bad baseball game?
A bad baseball game can, in my humble opinion, and Josh will probably back me up on this, literally put you to sleep.
Have you ever dozed off in a park, like at a ball game?
Never at a game. No, never
Okay.
at, but multiples on television. Multiples. The game of golf, which I love, and the game of baseball, I can fall asleep. I can fall asleep in a hockey game, believe it or not, too. If it's not something that's stimulating.
Carrie fell asleep at a football game back in the days of Jack Kent Cooke Stadium in Landover, Mike. It was on the club level. She wasn't out in the bowl.
I'm
She
gonna
was in the
guess.
lounge
I'm
area,
gonna
and
throw
she
out.
fell.
I'm gonna throw out just a wild guess.
Yeah.
That you didn't pay for those tickets.
Mike, I haven't paid for a Redskin ticket. God, I can't even think of the last time. But I was also at that point, Mike, employed by the organization.
When was the last time, if ever, you went to a sporting event that you paid for? I know you paid for plenty of concerts.
It was a year ago, Christmas. We bought tickets and took the fam to a hockey game. We did.
You bought
we
tickets to a Capitals game?
Yeah, because we needed 5 of them for that, and so I didn't feel right asking for those.
Okay. That's good, though. That's a surprise to me. And you pay for those minor league baseball tickets, right?
Exactly, and but I mean that can cost, if you want to get a family of 5 into a minor league game, you're looking at nearly $30.
That's a windfall for the team when you
It is.
Spiewak
It is.
show up.
And if you go on a nice Tuesday, it's buy one get one free.
Exactly.
Or it's kids get in free.
It's wonderful
It's-
Deals.
Minor league baseball is easy to go to.
And you know
hard thing,
something,
Mike-
and if you go to a major league game, who knows, you might just come home with a bobblehead.
That's true. That's so true. The hardest thing growing up with the family was getting the kids in the trunk for the drive-in.
Yes, very, very exciting. Very, very exciting.
The only
And then-
way that Spiewak see a movie.
And that one time that you broke your untempered glass roll-up window by hanging that big metal speaker on it.
Yeah, you see, a lot of people don't know this, Josh.
God, I'm old enough to remember. Are drive-ins even a thing anymore?
You can find
at
them
all?
occasionally.
I
They're
think-
not a lot in the D.C. area because the property's a little pricey.
Right. I think Benji's is still open up in the Baltimore area.
Benji's. That's awesome. I love
And
Baltimore.
I may or may not have been conceived at a drive-in theater.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
the
that's
Lee-
a shocker right out of the
Right.
gate.
The Lee Highway Theater that became the Lee Highway Multiplex, and now I believe it's office buildings at the intersection of Lee Highway and Gallows.
Right.
So
That's
I've researched to see what movie was playing. I was never able to really determine what probably my mom and dad were not watching that night.
wow. That's
Yeah.
that's interesting that you think about those things.
Yeah, that you've really dug into that.
Well, it was sort of a challenge from Katie. It was from an episode of Cake and Cookies when she didn't know the true story that I didn't figure out. I was conceived out of wedlock until I was like 25.
Katie's good that way. That's
And
why
so
that
she
show
said-
works.
Yeah, and so she
That's
said,
why
well,
our listeners clamor for more of it. They want more
Mm-hmm.
cake and cookies. That I can see that she would push you down that road.
But so it might have been like it would have been 1970.
Yeah.
So it would have been the summer of 70, probably June of 70. So whatever would be big movie in like June of 1970, that would have been the movie.
Big movie.
Well, I mean, huge,
The French
exciting
Connection.
movie. Maybe. Or maybe that's what was going on in the car. I want to tell you.
Oh, my God. So nasty.
I know,
but-
Mike. We weren't all conceived, under the eyes of God in a bed like you.
Well, if you knew my dad.
Oh, really?
Catch
Jesuit.
22 was the big summer blockbuster.
Could have been Catch 22.
That'd be tough in a drive-in. If I remember it. It's been a long time since
What,
that's
the
a
movie or Making Love?
No, Catch 22, the movie.
Horrible book. Hated that book. Had to read it for school, and I didn't like it. What was it? I can't think
Is
of
that
the name.
Vonnegut?
It might be.
Who
I was trying to
wrote,
think.
who wrote Catch 22? And Catch 22 is the name of a unsolvable problem.
Well, it's, essentially.
Catch 22 is something that in order to make it right, you have to make something else wrong, and you can never do one without the other. So
Right.
something will be wrong, and very military. Catch
But
22.
another use of the number 22, which pops up in a lot of places. It's always
so
the winning
I didn't
or
know that.
losing.
I've never heard of. I've never heard of
22 in many movies is either a winning or losing key number in roulette. It is in The Sting, it is in Casablanca, and I think there's a couple others.
Man, I was watching one of my many gambling videos, and there is another number that came up, and I don't remember what
Green
it
zero?
was. No, it was some kind of lucky number that, but I forgot it.
Was it a super terrific happy lucky number?
No, I don't think. Rob, it may have been. It may have been on the Asian numerical scale, because all those slot machines, if you look at a lot of, you have Dragon Link.
Yes.
You have all sorts of like dragons and Asian characters, and
That's why
because
I
of
only
the
gamble-
gambling in Asia.
All I do is gamble American, and I play Buffalo.
God, I watched a guy last night. Unbelievable. This guy who is NG. It's NG Slots, and he is absolutely the degenerate of degenerate gamblers. This guy, I mean, in 15 minutes, he lost about 80 grand. And Carla and I are watching this video with our jaws hanging open, just watching this guy go crazy. Because, it's on our mind going out to Vegas. It's on our mind all the time. We love playing the games. Do we have the author of Catch 22, Josh Soroka? Because you always look that kind of stuff up.
I did, and I closed it.
It's okay. It's not Vonnegut, though?
That is
No,
a Catch
it's not.
22, right?
I
Is
thought-
it Joseph? No, it's not Joseph Heller, is it?
I don't know. I wouldn't be asking if I
No,
knew.
it is Joseph Heller.
Joseph Heller.
Yes.
Very good.
Okay,
Good job,
wow.
Rob.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Back of
speaking
my
of
head
baseball,
somewhere.
we'll get to it's a very baseball-centered opening of the show today because I want to talk to Josh Soroka about his passion, and then I will get to my managerial debut tonight at 6 p.m. in Fort Myers, Florida, where the Navy team, the Navy Blue team, is heading out there. We got our jerseys for tonight. We're going to be picking them up. They said the big joke when I volunteered to manage this team was, and about 3 dads said it, you get a hat. Which is cool. I'll take a hat. I'm
That's
very
cool.
excited about
Oh,
it.
they
I
don't
love
give you a
good ball.
jersey, just a hat?
They don't give me a jersey. Nope.
All right.
I just get a hat. So that's our.
The one
Now-
thing I need to know if you're managing, Mike, is when is the best time to put in a tomato plant? Alice Swede wants to know. The best.
That's an Earl Weaver joke right there, which Josh would know. But it's official, right? Is MLB regular season over now, correct?
Yeah, well, we have 2 games today, which is fun in the National League. Because of the hurricane, 2 Braves games could not happen. So today, the Braves and the Mets play a doubleheader.
Any consequences that could
And
come
the
out of this?
consequence, the consequence is what makes it fun. They each need 1 win to get into the playoffs.
So if they split, they both
If
go
they
to the
split,
playoffs.
they both go into the playoffs.
Why?
That
If
is
one
very
sweeps,
cool.
they knock the other out. So it's
That is
cool
very
that
cool.
it has something to do, and then they'll have to both play tomorrow.
May
if
I
they
just send word out to everybody listening to me right now, wherever you are, such a massive chunk of the country affected by Hurricane Helene. And, when I saw the video, we were worried about the coastal areas, which were devastated, some of them down here in Florida. But when you look at Asheville, North Carolina, that, somebody sunk it. It was just stunning, the floodwaters that go through. And, when you're in those mountainous areas, those flash floods, that flooding is terrifying to me. I've always been freaked out by that. So, to anybody that's been,
Has no one fought this? No, but seriously,
Yes, sir.
Is this the first time that we're seeing this kind of extreme weather inland?
No, but because you'll get tropical systems that dump a lot of rain and you'll get flash flooding. But
Sure.
the size and frequency of these storms is steadily increasing, and these storms are getting bigger. This is a massive storm. This affected people for such a wide path, and just to see that, a week after we're dealing with it, and we lived it this weekend with having a son of a friend of ours that lives on Sanibel Island in Florida, staying with us while they were cleaning up, and then dropping him off in Sanibel yesterday, and they're doing fine. So, but anyway, getting back to baseball, as far as the Birds. I know because I drifted off when the Red Sox started sucking again, and I stopped paying attention. I would know
That was when, May?
they got into the beginning of September. They were
The Red Sox
competitive.
did finish 81 and 81.
500.
So they stayed 500. So
Yeah, competitive.
Not too bad. Yeah.
Like they say about the Giants too, competitive. So explain to me the playoff structure of the wild. Is the wild card still a one-off game?
No, the wild card is a best of 3.
Okay,
So you
best
have
of
to
three.
win two games. Mm-hmm. So right now it's Detroit and Houston play tomorrow night, and Kansas City and Baltimore play tomorrow.
And it's a 3-game series.
3-game series.
Very,
If needed.
very nervous,
Yep.
nerve-wracking, right? You got to, the slightest thing. If it's a 7-game series, you're okay. You can have your little lull and you can come back. But a 3-game series, the slightest miscue, that adds to the pressure. How nervous are you for your Baltimore Orioles?
I actually feel really good going into this series, which is probably bad.
Okay, because it's in Baltimore, right?
It's
They're
in
the
Baltimore.
top-seeded wild card.
It's in
right?
Baltimore. I'm going to fly up this afternoon.
Okay.
Of course you are.
The game is at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
All right.
So I'll probably be more nervous tomorrow. Right now, I feel really good. The Orioles.
I don't think that him feeling, Mike, I'm sorry to interrupt, Josh. I don't think him feeling good is going to be bad luck the way it would be if you felt good about the Red Sox. I think a Red Sox fan is different than an Orioles fan. And you sort of, you're already, and it's the same thing with the Giants a little bit. You are already anticipating the bad when something good happens for
let me explain to you briefly, and we'll get back to Josh and the Orioles. And he's a super fan, and his podcast is Section 102, which is
Mike,
wildly
look
wildly
him.
popular.
It's 336. He has it on his wall.
Oh, Section 336, which is his section. And where do you lay your head when you go to Baltimore now, since you don't have a residence up there? What do you do?
It's I have a sister that's up there, so sometimes I'll go there.
There you go.
Since my parents are going as well this up tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm staying with them at my aunt's home.
It'll be a party.
Tomorrow.
That's a lot of
So-
people.
I'm assuming the internet's going to be good, and I'll be joining you from her home.
You know what?
tomorrow.
I think it's so wonderful that you have that in your life, and just cherish every moment of it because it's special. I really believe that.
If I'm doing this from a Starbucks tomorrow morning, that'll be why.
No problem. We knew that early on. This is your passion. And listen, as far as the wild cards and baseball and all of it, it's what having now an 11-year-old son that is into sports is really, really just wonderful. It permeates our life down here, and I know it permeates yours where you live, Josh. And even Rob had his little guy when he was in basketball.
Yes,
and it's just it's really, really fun. So the Orioles, you feel good about. Playing Kansas City, and then the winner of that series will go on to the ALCS, correct?
Winner of that series goes on to play the New York Yankees. And we've had a really good year with the Yankees.
Yes, and Rizzo, is it Mike Rizzo? Is that the name of who's the guy that was their first baseman who broke 2 fingers? I think he's out. Rizzo. Anthony Frank Rizzo. Who knows? Rizzo.
That's Mike from the Jerky Boys.
I can't pretend to be the
you're
fan
right.
I'm not.
It is Anthony Rizzo
Anthony Rizzo.
with 2 broken fingers.
And he's not playing for
long shot
the
for the ALDS.
Oh, okay. Very good. All right. So it is the ALDS after the wild card, right?
Yes.
and then it is the ALCS when they play a team from the West.
Correct.
So
Yep.
it is 3 layers that the Orioles will have to go through to get to the World Series.
Yes.
And let me see
This
if
is
I've
more
got
complicated than Dancing with the Stars.
Well, what
I
I'll
can't
do,
even
Rob,
follow
is
that.
I'll give you the
And
teams. all
Rob,
right?
you can see I got a nice color-coded calendar to help me keep track of it because it is confusing.
It is
All right,
confusing.
well, tell me the oppositions. I'll tell you who.
Let
will
me give
win.
you the teams.
Okay.
All right. You have the Baltimore Orioles
They will win,
in the playoffs.
Right.
You have the Kansas City Royals.
not win.
You have the New York Yankees.
Always win.
You have the Washington Senators.
The Washington Senators, Mike, you can't fool me. That's the Minnesota Twins.
No, Josh, I swear to God, after the Royals, the Orioles, and the Royals I only know because you just told me. And we've got the New York Yankees. Who else is in the
The Tigers
AL?
are in it. You said that, right?
Yep. The Tigers and the Astros are in it in the wild card.
Amazingly, Mike, that will end up in a tie, and neither will advance.
All right, so you got
Cleveland and
Yeah.
New York are the 2 teams that have the bye in the American League.
because they are the division winners.
Right.
And then in the National League, who do we have?
In the National League, you got the Phillies and the Dodgers. They've got the byes.
Always.
And then you've got the Brewers and the Padres. And those guys will will be determined on today's game, whether it's the Braves, the Mets, or the Diamondbacks.
So let me see if I got it right.
Okay,
You
Mike,
got
go ahead.
Orioles, Royals, Yankees, Tigers, Astros. That's the American League, 5 teams right
Cleveland.
there. And Cleveland, 6 teams.
Right.
Yeah.
6 teams. Then in the National League, you have Phillies, Dodgers, Padres. Hold on. I can get Padres, Phillies, Dodgers, Padres, Brewers,
Brewers. Yeah.
and who else?
And possibly the Braves, Mets, or Diamondbacks, depending on today's games.
But 2 of those teams will go.
2 of those
through.
teams. 2 of those 3.
See, Mike, I only follow the Israeli baseball league, and I'm rooting for the Hebrews.
Well, that's good because their starting pitcher is on the Orioles.
What's
And
good
Dean
is that
Kramer.
none of us laughed at that. That's
I
what's
laughed.
really good.
I
That's
laughed
great.
inside.
Well,
It
you laugh
counts.
at all. You have broken the first rule of comedy your entire career, laughing at your own jokes.
Mike, I will tell you something that long after I die, people will look back and they will say Rob Spiewak was the first rule of comedy.
Has a lot of respect for his own abilities, ladies and gentlemen, and that's a good thing. As far as the baseball season, though, there is nothing that compares.
Yes.
There I am. I just told Rob not to laugh at his own shtick, and then my setup, I'm laughing at my own setup.
Mike,
There's
if we didn't laugh
nothing-
at our own stuff, the show would only be 40 minutes long.
There is nothing bigger than the managerial debut of Mr. Mike O'Mara for the Navy Blue Babe Ruth 12U baseball team tonight, fall league, fall ball tonight.
It's time for a team name.
Yeah,
if
Mike,
it's
and
the
also
first
people
game and
should
you're still
know.
just the Navy Blue team,
I
you need
don't
a
know the
nickname.
rules. I think that's what we are going by, and I think it's going to be Navy. I think we're called Navy.
I need a little background because all of this stuff of you becoming a coach happened when I was on holiday. So
Okay.
could I get a thumbnail sketch of how this went down?
We go to the
Because-
first practice. It's a great time for us, the O'Mara family. It's 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning, which is absolutely perfect prior
so
to the
right
football
after,
games.
right after mass.
Right after early mass, 7:15 mass. We go there. The email that's sent out for the practice by the commissioner of the league says they are managerless for the team. That a couple of parents have committed to be assistant coaches, but no one has stepped up to be manager. We get there. The commissioner speaks to us as we're sitting in the bleachers, and I'm getting ready to watch practice, sitting in the bleachers
Is it
like I
still
always
Bowie
do.
Kuhn that runs that league?
It's Bart Giamatti.
Wonderful. He's a good guy.
So Bart Giamatti says, talks about the fact that he's got these parents that have agreed to be assistant managers. Is there anybody that has coaching in Little League experience? I'm 65. I've got experience in probably everything at one point or another. So I raised my hand. And I don't know why I raised my hand, but I think when I raised my hand when he said that, I was probably accepting the fact that enough sitting on my ass when I go to all these practices. And I do. I go to all my kids' stuff. And I said, okay. And
When you
previously,
raised your hand, did Carla try to stop you from raising
no,
your hand?
no, not at all. She's all in. She was all
right.
in. As a matter of
All
fact, we'll get to that part. She is an assistant coach as well.
Yes.
She's on the list, and she's going to maintain discipline on the bench for those crumb crunchers when the game goes on. I guess the feeling I got was when he said this is not the same blood and guts that, and Josh would back this up, that the spring leagues are with travel teams and kids trying out and all that. This is more of a just let's
Fall's
play
relaxed.
baseball. Let's play baseball in the fall. That's really what it is, and that's
Fall ball, they call it.
Fall ball. And so when he says, "Well, is there anybody that would like to manage?" And I look around at the dads, and I've been their age, in their 40s, 30s, and I'm like, I'm going to be here. I'm like, okay, I'll go for it. It's casual. When he said it was low key and that you could have very little experience, which it's been a million years since I've done this, I raised my hand, sitting in the bleachers, and then got out on the field and started talking to the kids. And then I've run 2 or 3 practices since then, and we have our first game tonight. We had practice yesterday morning, getting
Do
them
you
ready for
use
the big
character
game.
voices when you talk to the kids?
I do not. I
Not
do
yet.
not. But yesterday I did stand in for 2 pitches in batting practice, and I hit one into left field, which was a good thing. I whiffed
did
on
you-
the first, and the kids loved it that the big guy whiffed. Loved it.
Did you run to first base?
That did not happen. I have informed
Hands
both
over
the,
your head screaming.
Did
I
you
have-
use a baseball bat or a racket for this?
I
at-bat?
used a baseball bat, but Josh's racket that he told me to get has been a godsend. I use that with the
what
kids all the
racket?
time. It is a paddle that's like a trampoline on a rectangle, a small trampoline on a rectangle, where you use it for fielding practice, and you can fly
Yeah,
balls.
I can
and
grab
you can hit-
mine and I can show you.
It is a replacement for what is called a fungo bat, which is what you've used previously. And
Well,
when
I
Josh said that,
haven't,
I said,
but-
I'm all in. That's what it is. It's
All right.
and he'll show it to you. This is what I use to hit
Harder
the
to
fly
whiff
balls.
because of the surface area. I'm
Harder to
guessing.
whiff and more accurate and all the good stuff, and you can get a lot of height out of the ball.
Could you use it for pickleball?
I am not quite sure whether it might send a pickleball out into another town.
Well, that's what you want, Mike. You want to win. You don't go to pickleball to lose. That's
Let's
what
take
I've
a
always
look
said.
at it. He's got his little baseball paddle. Oh, he's got a different one than I do. Yeah.
Okay, and the strings are wickedly tight. Is that the deal?
Yeah, it's like a tennis racket, but stronger.
There you go.
It really looks like a Flintstones tennis racket.
Looks like a gill net. I'm watching Alone on Netflix where they're all out trying to catch fish with their gill nets. But so I'm into this, and I have run. Carla would probably back me up, and whenever we get a chance, maybe we can get her to come by and talk about my coaching. I think I've done an okay job, but the proof will be, and I think the scrutiny will be, tonight, when I would imagine we have more of a parental participation than the practices, because when kids are that age, and especially if you have multiple kids, you drop them off, and we don't have a million parents in the stands. So
Yeah.
it's,
But
No,
tonight
this
will
is-
be a sellout for sure.
And this is when the parents judge you. Not whether the kids win or lose, but how you handle the kids.
okay. I am in a quandary. Josh, I need my tutorial. I know I'll have guys there to help me, but
Yeah.
I put together my lineup and
Yeah.
I show up with my
Everyone's
shine.
in the lineup.
Everybody gets to play, but my starters, I got them all laid out. I got my starting pitching, my starting catcher, the 2 boys that play normally, but they weren't at practice yesterday. They will not be starting. I think to be starter, you should probably be at the last practice because you get everybody laid out the way they're
Right.
going to be. So that's
No, I
going to be
agree.
the first problem because these are vocal kids, I know, and we'll see where we go
Well-
from there. Yes.
Well, here's what I'll say is pitching, there's a limit. You at this age, they can only go 2 innings.
All right.
So you got to
2
be
innings.
prepared to pull another pitcher for that 3rd inning.
2
And
innings
how
of
long are the
pitching.
majors games?
Mine are an hour 40.
Okay, so they're time based.
So they're time based. And,
Exactly the length of a TV movie
actually, and-
without commercials. Mike.
Right. Tonight's a school night. So a school night is an hour 30. You can't start another inning.
Okay, so it'll go
So-
from 6 to 7:30.
Right.
Okay, good. All right.
Right.
So now I know. Now I know that.
So
yeah.
that's probably 4 to 5 innings.
Okay, good. All right. I'm
So-
Perfect.
With
Normally-
your team,
I like it more now.
How
What?
many young youngsters are on your team, Mike?
I got a full complement, so because I got a bench, so there are multiple kids. We probably got 12, 13 kids
All right,
that are, on the team.
that is good and bad.
Yes. Okay, why is it? First of all, I like the negative first. Why is it bad?
It's bad because as the coach, you now have to worry about rotating that many people on and off the field each inning.
Okay.
Because you're not supposed to let them sit on the bench for 2 innings in a row.
Then I won't.
So if they're on the bench for inning 1, they should be in the field for inning 2.
That gets
So
complicated, man. That
wild.
wild.
Gets complicated, and that's where I keep a little. I pre-plan 7 innings of who's on the bench and who's in positions to help me ahead of time, and I kind of
Great.
keep that in my pocket and
This is why.
make notes as I go by.
This is why this guy's helping me so much.
As a rule, does your chart, your flow chart there, does that work game to game, or do you update it game to game?
I redo it every game.
Now, did
Where
you say
generally, I
everybody?
like the positions
Did you
but
say I
everybody
have to
bats.
rotate every inning?
every inning?
So what
Well,
about
you
the?
said 2 innings. They can't be on the bench for more than 2 innings. So couldn't you do it every third?
No, every inning.
Oh, wow.
It can't be 2 innings on the bench.
Oh, okay. So every inning they have to get in. So I
Now,
will.
Your lineup. That's why everyone's in the lineup.
All right.
So your lineup is 12 people deep, or however many. 12.
Can I
13
put
people.
guys that I take out back in?
Yes, except for pitching.
Okay, that's easy. Then that's so one kid comes out, sits, goes back in. So it's
Yeah.
a little bit of a dance. I'll be
Yeah, that's exactly how Mike's mind
I'll-
works. Shouldn't be a problem.
I'll show you. Here's my chart
all right.
that I lay out for each game.
Tucker.
So this was for Saturday, and because I only had 9 players, I only did positions once because I didn't have a bench
you're
spot
lucky.
to deal with.
Yeah.
You're
So it made it a lot
lucky.
easier. I then just had to deal with pitchers. But you can see I chart this out for the whole game. I can send you this if it helps.
Okay. Yep.
And,
Send that to me.
That
I'd
won't
love
be
to
any
see it.
good. He doesn't have anyone named Elijah on his team.
Right.
Carla
will have to replace the names.
We're ready for the first names? You
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. You think I don't know these things? All right, let me see. I have, here we
Yes.
go. Michael O'Mara.
That's your
Then
son.
Then there's the other Michael. Then there is Kim, Dez, Coop, William, Carter, Tristan. Oh man, I should know them all, but if they were here, I'd be able to tell you who they are.
Like the
Dom,
story. Dead Dom.
Where's my-
Dead.
James,
You can call him Jim.
that's 10. I know
Yeah.
I got 2 more. Wait, hold on.
Is there a Billy? Oh,
Austin.
you already had one. Groovy, baby.
And then one more. I don't want to leave out one kid.
Oh, he's the best.
Did you mention Tristan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll. That's pretty good, right? I
Yeah,
know them all.
and-
I know them all. That to me is a big deal, and I know that I have watched my son play Little League Baseball where the coaches weren't able to do what I just did.
And you let every kid pick out their walk-up song?
We don't have a walk-up song.
I'm just kidding. Some of the teams do that, and it drives me completely crazy.
Yeah,
I
it's
hate
a
those
little-
teams.
yeah. And they do it in high school, and they do it.
Yeah.
and
Here's
all that.
Mike.
But-
Here's the walk-up song for your son.
Breathe deep, my son. Breathe deep. Anyway, so it's very exciting.
That'd be a
And,
great coming out of the bullpen intro.
Yeah. Who's up, Mike? Is there a player that's the tallest?
No, Sandman. You got to play Sandman for Mariano Rivera. That's the bullpen song.
Also, there's Carmina Burana that they use a lot. That's the la 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 la.
Sorry.
Do you have a tallest player on your team?
Oh yes, Carter,
far?
shortstop.
That's ironic that the tall guy would be shortstop.
Yeah, I got my starting line. Got Carter at short. Got Dez at third. I got Coop at second, And let me see. Michael's pitching, so I have William starting at first base.
Josh, do you know why they call him? Do you know why they call him Coop? Because
Why?
he only has 2 doors.
I
was thinking more about the parents.
Oh, wait a
judging
minute.
That
Wait a
Michael's
minute.
starting the game.
Yeah,
Hold on.
well,
I
you know,
think I
that's
have.
gonna be a
I
thing.
think I got William catching. I think I got William catching. So that means my first baseman. Oh my God, I got to figure this out today. I have a whole day to do it. I'll get it right. I'm sure I'll get it right.
You'll still be planning it in your head on the way to the park.
No, I will be prepared. I will be prepared like I am prepared. Rob, you know one thing.
No, that's true.
A little thing about me that Rob knows, and it's I am nothing if not prepared for whatever
That's true.
I do. That's
very
kind of
true.
the way I've run this show. I've worked in the past, Rob. You might be aware of this. I may have discussed it with you with individuals who partake of this task without any degree of participation or
true.
presentation or preparation, and it causes me a bit of consternation.
Well, Mike, playing the booty song does require some planning.
Stop it! Stop that! What were you going to say, Josh?
No
Save
chance
me.
you're going to show up there and just first thing tell all the parents, I don't want to be here.
Josh is. Let me explain what that's about. And what's brilliant about Josh is he knows this will segue into our Saturday night cocktail party,
Right.
Our Naked Greed money grubbing radiothon cocktail hour,
the logo.
which is going to be this coming Saturday, where we are. We're going to. I am going to drink and beg. That's what I'm going to. And this is the theme to that. The
Mike,
Naked
I know
Greed.
it sort of happened, but
Josh
let's
knows
do make this the theme.
Josh knows that the last time that we did that cocktail hour, I had a very bad attitude going into that.
You had
I
a
had
bad
a very
day that
bad
day,
attitude.
yeah.
And I am here to tell you, I have not settled on my costume for Saturday night, but
Oh, mine
I know
arrived.
Beetle Josh has arrived, and Rob
Jelly
Spiewak
Rob.
is Jelly Rob. And I guess I have to be a figure of pop culture of some kind if I do that, you know?
Who's
Post
left?
O'Mara. No, that's a ripoff of your Jelly Roll.
Yeah, it would have
which
to be
I'm
something.
Not gonna be.
You know who would be good, Mike, is since, Jelly Roll sort of is this. You could be a country singer, but maybe a female country singer that has red hair.
Reba,
Could be.
that would just require a red wig.
I just want to hear the tape.
But that would just require a red wig.
Yeah,
which
that's
would
not
be-
what you want to do.
But no, why not? I mean, I like the idea, I mean, come on.
Hey, everybody, this is Reba McEntire.
Looking back,
I
do
haven't
have
gotten rid of it.
I do have a favorite costume that you did that was weirdly obscure even at the time when you were Wolfman Jack.
Hey, I want to clap for the Wolfman. You gonna dig him to the
wore
day
a-
you die.
You wore a cape.
For all the people that support us so wonderfully,
Yes.
please make note of that. We're going to have a party with everybody with your questions and your requests and impressions.
It's an
you know.
AMA, Mike. Ask me anything. Or I guess it's an AUA. Ask us anything.
And I'm here to tell you that now that Rob is a teetotaler and Josh is really not a real imbiber, I will be pre-gaming for
Well,
the
that's
show.
good news for everybody.
I will be pre-gaming, and my attitude, as Josh referenced,
Yes.
will be stellar. I will come
Be
in
upbeat.
so positive, and it'll be fantastic.
I think your costume should be your favorite movie of the summer, The Minions. I think you should come in as a minion.
Mike O'Minion.
You think do you think they've opened the Halloween stores yet? Or
Oh,
Yes,
Mike, they've
they
been
have.
open since August, of
Yes.
course.
all right, so I can.
The
I can
last
pick
time
up-
I saw a
I'm
Minion
going
costume-
with I'm going with Soroka's idea. I will be a minion
Okay, the last time
because
I
that'll
saw
be just
someone,
a cutout, right? A cutout
Yeah,
of my
it's just
face.
right.
A couple years ago, my doctor was dressed as a
Said
minion.
you're going to die.
That was before. This is after that. He was, they have a lot of kids at his practice, so he was dressed as a minion, and it was my time for the finger test. And so I was given the finger test.
And when he was
by-
doing it, he was going.
Now, Mike, Shannon Fisher in the chat room also has a good suggestion.
What's
You
that?
could be zombie Chris Christopherson.
Oh, that's too soon. That's in
way,
the news.
way
That's
too
in the
soon.
news. We didn't.
Way
I
too
wasn't
soon.
even to give the man a proper obit without respect. With respect. Sorry, whatever I'm saying.
And no
So,
characters from Saltburn, Mike, please.
I want to mention it again. Saturday night, 7 p.m.,
Yeah.
the Naked Greed Money Grubbing Radiothon Cocktail Hour to underwrite the Las Vegas show, which we are
Exactly.
very excited about. That's our, our month out precursor to Vegas. And
We lost
it's
our
1
backing,
month.
Mike, from the
Folks,
Chubb
hold
group.
on. To dovetail on my promos here,
Right.
on my begging. And everybody knows we are not. You can see the numbers, folks. We are a tiny little engine. We are. We now. And by the way, it's not lost on me how inflation has hit Las Vegas. If you're
Here.
if you're able to at the last minute pull it together and get yourself a ticket out there, we would really appreciate it. We're going to have a couple hundred folks up on the pool deck at the Citrus Grand, and we want to see you there, folks. We really, really do, and we'd love to have you. Food, drink, merriment, pool,
So much more than one show, though. It's a whole
Tatas.
weekend of people.
thongs, and that's just
Yes.
the 3 hosts. I mean, that's it. And notice I called Josh a host based
Well,
on the
that's-
way. You know what he gets a host credit for now? Based
What?
on the way he segued me into the promotion he wanted to do. That
Yeah.
was
It's
well
mind
hit.
control.
How long did it take, Rob, for Josh Soroka to start handling me on the show?
Really, it was about the second week.
I think it was too.
But
And
it
now-
took you longer to realize you were being handled.
till
That's
right
what
now.
took a while.
And,
Right
and,
now.
and let's hold back on those thongs. That'll be if the show sells out.
If the show sells out, I will wear a thong.
Yeah, I tried.
I won't
to,
necessarily show it to you, but I'll show it to you through the top of my pants.
Oh, you're going to whale tail it?
I'll whale tail it. All right. If
I put on a thong,
if
Mike, but I
the
lost
show
it.
sells out, I will. Can you commit to whale tailing, Rob?
I don't know that my outfit will allow it, but yeah, I'll wear a thong.
Oh, that's right, because you got a jumpsuit.
No, it's not a jumpsuit though. You'll see. Don't reveal too much.
Well, is it an outfit that has pants?
It does have pants, so yeah, I'll whale tail it.
All right, Josh.
I have seen some people post this on Facebook, so I will commit to the Maryland flag Speedo if we sell out.
Very good. All right, very good. And tickets still available, and we get a last minute push always in October, and we really, really want to see all of you there. Get out there, And if it's tough affording a room, sleep on my floor. I'm fine with that. I mean, really, we'll put
We're
a couple
subletting my
people.
room, Mike, like a submarine. Everyone
That's good.
gets 8 hours.
Fantastic.
In and
It's going to
out.
be great. All right.
Yeah.
So baseball is here. Fall ball is here. The playoffs. It's exciting. I haven't covered everything, but we have to take a break. And when we come back, we've got the round table. Lots
And a
going on in the
promo,
world.
Mike. We have a
and
promo.
thank you for letting me know that. Otherwise, I'd talk right through it.
Yeah, I know.
And lots of fun coming up, including a review of, is it a TV show or a movie that you're reviewing, Rob?
They're both TV series, limited runs.
Very exciting. We'll do that and more coming up. You are listening to the Mike O'Mara Shut-a-da-whoa-whoa-do.
This week's bonus show is really classic. From Oreos and Coke to ELO and even the acting of John Payne. Take a listen.
It's the bonus show. We do weird crap. Bring me the cookies. The ELO show, yes, it's a concert, but really more of an experience. Would you not agree?
100%. Mr. Blue Sky.
I enjoyed the first Joker.
Dipping in Coke is a good thing.
That scene where the centurion is drunk and he fills his belly with wine and then stabs him
Yeah.
and it explodes, spectacular.
Don't miss out on the fun. Get a bonus show subscription today at MikeO'MaraShow.com. It's as comforting as milk and cookies after school.
Oh, man. Man, those guys are on drugs.
They must be.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This portion of the program brought to you by Legacy Box. memories are the absolute best.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. And, having kids is number one, in my opinion. Memories of, your people that you love, that's number two.
What about
And,
number 3?
reliving them is like using a time machine. But who even has a VCR anymore or a film projector? No sweat. Legacy Box allows you to revisit those memories without antiquated machines, and it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Legacy Box is the simple and safe solution for digitizing all your family's precious memories. Just send in your Legacy Box filled with old VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, and pictures. Their team professionally digitizes everything by hand right here in the good old USA. You'll get it back on a thumb drive or the cloud, along with your originals. It's so simple, it's like magic. Legacy Box digitizes over 15 different types of analog media, so whatever it is, they've got you covered. Rob digitized his wedding videos.
Yes.
I saved old film footage from the 1800s of my mom and dad, and Josh has all of Brooks Robinson's home movies on a thumb drive. You got to do it. For a limited time, get started preserving your past and save 50%. Go to legacybox.com/TMOS to revisit and share special memories from your past. That's legacybox.com/TMOS, people.
No reaction from Josh on the Brooks Robinson joke.
No.
Sort of
Well,
disappointing.
look, we have to establish
know.
that. He may play me and manipulate me and get me to do the things he wants to do, but he's not a big reactor, all right?
Yeah,
So
I
let's
know.
just deal with
But
that. Yes.
Thought that might hit bigger.
Death came in threes this weekend, depending on who you arbitrarily decide to count, but we basically suffered 3 major losses. Dame Maggie Smith, who really had a 8th act with Downton Abbey, where she was the driving force behind that show. So
Brilliant.
glad she had a show like that at the end of her days. John Ashton, you might remember him from Beverly Hills Cop, where he was the big, bald, goofy, lumpy kind of police officer.
Sidekick to Judge Reinhold.
And a foil to Eddie Murphy. You know, well, he
And
was
just
Biddle,
did that,
wasn't he?
He just did
Not
that
Biddle.
movie.
He said Biddle. He's the one that said that line.
Yeah, Biddle and Phelps. Not that. He was just in the Beverly Hills Cop 4 that just dropped. So he had a strong end to his career, which is great.
And then Chris Christopherson passed. I'll give you all of them. Maggie was 89 years old. No word on the cause of death, but her family said she died peacefully at a hospital. She'd been around forever, but 2 of her most prominent roles were also her most recent. Professor Minerva McGonagall in the Harry Potter series, and Violet Crawley, Dowager Countess on Grantham, of Grantham on Downton Abbey. Here's an interesting note. Maggie died on Friday, September 27th, exactly 1 year after the passing of Michael Gambon, who played Professor Dumbledore in Harry Potter. I don't think I needed that fact.
I will say this
who's
about
next year?
that's Downton Abbey Day.
I don't know any of the actors' names on Downton Abbey, but I know I had the Harry Potter. It'll be Harry Potter.
Oh, he'll go?
Well,
not-
'cause
It'll
Maggie
be Daniel
Smith,
Radcliffe.
Maggie Smith was in Harry Potter, right? So
Yes.
they're saying it's a
Yes.
year apart from 2 actors, so it'd be a 3rd Harry Potter
Right.
person
exactly.
to die next year.
That's when
Also, Mike, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that for
we're
people,
so jaded on this show, aren't we?
for people that are lost in the past, Maggie
Yes.
Smith was excellent in the Neil Simon movie Murdered by Death. Which
That's
is a
yours.
very funny movie.
That's
I know.
your own. That's
I
your
know,
own.
and you know what?
Right.
I'm sorry about that you don't care for that, but I'm just showing
It's
a
your
little respect.
tribute. It's your tribute. That's your. I mean, but that's fine. I'm sure that was a very
And I
pleasant
prefer
movie.
her in Sister Act.
Yeah, that's
Was she
cinema,
in
not
Sister
film.
Act?
Apparently, it's listed as one of her top movies.
All right, very good. She was in California Suite too.
Why don't we do a Neil Simon comedy? You and me.
Very good. Let's do that. Yeah, the Joy Boys. And Maggie was also nominated by the Academy for Travels with My Aunt, Othello, A Room with a View, and Gosford Park. She also won a Tony, 4 Emmys, and 3 Golden Globes.
Good for her.
Safe
Good
home
career.
to her. And John Ashton, we mentioned. Chris Christopherson, the second version of A Star is Born. Not the Lady Gaga one, which was
the third, actually.
Okay, so that Chris Christopherson was the
Janet-
third,
Yeah,
and
Janet
Lady
Gaynor,
Gaga was
Judy
the
Garland.
4th.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
Barbara Streisand was the 3rd.
So,
I just watched that about a year ago. It's a pretty good movie.
and a very accomplished musician and a songwriter, Chris Christopherson. So that's that.
Me and Bobby McGee, he wrote.
He wrote that one?
Yeah.
Hey,
I think he released it before Janice. Then she released it after she died and had a bigger hit. But great songwriter, Chris Christopher.
I believe that in the movie A Star is Born with Barbara Streisand was the first awareness I really had of Chris Christopherson, and he appeared to be a bit wasted. At least
Yeah.
that's the way and of
I
course
think-
that was perfect typecasting for the role that he played, right?
Hard living, I think, is the deal.
And I wasn't he part of that whole Waylon and Willie group too? Didn't he hang
Yeah,
out with those
was
guys?
it the
that kinda-
Highwaymen? There was like a 4-man super group. I think
Yeah,
he was in.
I mean,
yeah.
he was involved in music and show business for
Yeah.
a very long time. So those gentlemen
How do you
and
feel
ladies,
about people that spell Chris with a K?
about the same way as I feel about people that use 2 B's on Rob.
Noted. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Rob did that, by the way. That is an affectation for those of you that don't know. Rob was named, his Christian name was Rob Spiewak with 1 B, and he changed it. And
Robert,
what was
actually.
what Robert? Yeah, but what was the reason you? What was the reason you changed it?
It was my way of rebelling, Mike.
Wasn't it because showbiz?
No, it was.
kinda?
It was
Like-
no. It's because at the time it was 4th grade. Chuck Robb was running for Senate or governor. Governor, I think, of Virginia, and there
became
Senate.
governor, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it was Senate that he was running. And there were
Senate,
bumper
Senator Rob,
stickers
Senator
everywhere.
Chuck Robb. I've been to his house.
There's stickers everywhere that said Rob, ROBB. I said, I like that. And so I took that because before that I was Robbie. And Robbie didn't seem right. And so I took Rob. But also there's other 2-beat Robs, Mike. I direct your attention to Rob Weller of Entertainment Tonight.
Did teachers try to correct you?
That's a stretch.
I know. It is a stretch. And no, it wasn't that. It wasn't the spelling of my name that bothered me.
Is Rob Weller the only one you could pull?
No, there's other 2-beat Robs. I think there's
Famous?
a Rob Stark, I think, is somebody.
But
Let me
Rob
see.
is Rob, so it's
Yeah.
and by the way, I will send text messages and go back and correct them.
I appreciate
if
that.
they have a single B. I that's how much it meant to me.
Rob Stark is a fictional character from of course, from the
Game of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones. Yeah, that's famous.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, good for you. You have to wonder why. And by the way, no reaction when I mentioned that I've been to Chuck Robb's house.
What? Ooh!
Thank you. It was cool. I went to a fundraiser.
Did you
for,
see his bird?
Rob's bird, Lady Bird, Linda Bird.
Linda Bird.
I did. She was at the house. I remember it
Yeah.
started to rain. We were out on the pool deck where they were having this fundraiser for what was that senator? He won, Jim Webb, and then he,
Also with 2 B's.
and then he quit.
Yes.
Like one term, he quit.
Yeah.
Dick. After all that, people get him in the Senate, but Bill Clinton was there too.
Hi,
And
how are you?
that's the one where Bill Clinton came off the stage after he spoke.
right.
He spoke extemporaneously, and you could still see why he had the charisma of being president of the United States. And he literally walks by a handshake line, shakes my hand like this, says, hello. And then Carla is right next to me,
Oh no.
and he takes both hands. He takes her hand in both of his and goes, how are you? That's my Bill Clinton moment. I've had two Bill Clinton moments. My daughter Catherine was held by him,
Yes.
and had a picture taken, and then my wife Carla, 2 hands. How are you?
You're
and I just got a
forgetting
hello.
your first Clinton moment was you went to his inauguration parade. And,
that's right.
And he was in the limo, but not out of the limo, but they had a speaker.
And he's on the PA.
Yes. So you just heard this down
He's on the
Pennsylvania
P-
Avenue.
Thanks for coming. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. How are you? How are you doing? Thanks for coming. Thanks. Hello.
It could have been taped.
That's great. Good memory on that one. That is too funny. So salute to
Yes.
whoever I was saluting. You have to wonder why Saturday Night Live goes to the trouble of hiring a cast. All I watch, I know Rob still watches it. I watch the opening, and can I just send out kudos to Dana Carvey, who
I know.
Dana Carvey, a million people do Biden. Dana Carvey takes a little thing, and I just thought it was great. I thought we don't have Biden as president for much longer, so to get that little idiosyncrasy that Biden has, I thought it was special. And
And I enjoyed-
Maya Rudolph did
She's great.
did a
and Jim
great job.
Gaffigan did great as Tim Walz.
Spectacular. And then you've got the arguably the best Donald Trump impression. Yeah. So, I mean, the impressions.
James Austin Johnson.
By the way, and if people are giving them crap for bringing in other people, it's because you don't rely on the cast exclusively and to shoehorn into an impression. Bring some impressionists in. And then you get Maya Rudolph, who has the same vocal register of Kamala Harris, which is so perfect. Great. She will do that for, as long as she can.
Carvey is almost 70, Mike. I just checked it. And he, you know what? So he has been comedically relevant for a long time. And I think that's great. I love him. I think he's awesome.
Here's the deal on the opening. Maya Rudolph played Vice President Kamala Harris, as expected, while Jim Gaffigan did a great job playing her running mate, Tim Walz. Andy Samberg.
This was a great curveball.
He returned as Kamala's husband, Doug Emhoff, which was just funny to have Doug Emhoff come out there, that nobody knows who Doug Emhoff is. But Dana Carvey shuffled onto the set to play Joe Biden. He crushed it. He crushed it.
He did.
I was laughing out loud watching it. It was spectacular.
He's got a great podcast right now out with him and David Spade together.
Oh, and they're perfect.
Fly on the wall.
And the style of comedy, and they both have that kind of talk when you're listening to them on that podcast.
Spade embraces the fact that his career has sort of fallen.
It's hysterical.
Funny. It's so great. There was another Saturday Night Live sketch, Mike, if you haven't seen it. Gene Smart was the host, and they did one of the things where it's like a look back on Hollywood, and they did a very angry version of I Love Lucy.
Where Gene Smart played Lucy?
Yeah, but like an angry, drinking, smoking Lucy.
How do you rate that? We haven't talked about it. How do you rate the SNL debut for
I didn't watch the entire episode. I watched 3 sketches. I thought Dateline was was it
Weekend Update?
Weekend Update was great. I think Colin Jost is brilliant. They did one joke about eating the dogs and eating the cats. I won't spoil it.
Did you find that Weekend Update on SNL on the 50th season that they did, they have transitioned from spotlighting the fact that they write politically incorrect jokes for one another to just writing politically incorrect jokes for each other.
I think there's some of that, but also it's always hard to judge the season premiere because they've had literally 5 months to put it together.
We'll wait and see. I'm going to go back and watch
the second episode is quite
thing.
telling. But anyway, I will watch the whole thing. But now I have to watch it on Peacock. So.
The only current cast member on the opening sketch was James Austin Johnson, who plays Trump and does arguably the best version of Trump. And believe it or not, that great Trump that he does was overshadowed by Carvey's Biden, which was a complete surprise for everybody. Kate Winslet is finally ready to burst your bubble about the famous door scene at the end of Titanic, where they look so cold.
Yes.
It's, by the way, isn't it hard to believe? 27 years ago, that's Titanic. That's how long that movie was out. Isn't that amazing?
That's the same amount of time between the actual sinking and when the movie came out.
She says the scene was shot in a waist-high infinity tank and that Leonardo DiCaprio was actually kneeling down. Isn't that a neat insight? The tank also recirculated water, so there was a constant sound of water rushing, which caused minor audio issues. The cast had to re-record their lines after filming was completed. Kate says, quote, "The last 22 minutes of that movie are entirely looped. Everything, I promise you, because you could hear this water noise the whole time. I shouldn't be saying any of these things. Jim Cameron's going to be ringing me like, why are you telling them all that?" So there's that. Titanic, if you were interested.
Jim Cameron called her and said, talk about the movie. That's what he did.
He doesn't need any help. He's got all the money in the world. Have you heard of the term sleep maxing? Either one of you hear that one? That seems to be a thing.
No.
It's everywhere. TikTok, Gen Z's all about it. Sleep maxing is a general term for when you obsess over getting the perfect night's sleep. It usually involves sleep tracking apps and at least one over-the-top hack like mouth taping. That's where you cover your mouth to force yourself to breathe through your nose all night. And in my case, I would die.
Podcast. The taping thing, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Sleepy Girl mocktails also are big this year. Fans of them claim you'll get the best sleep of your life if you mix cherry juice and seltzer water, then add in some magnesium powder. I'd be willing to try that.
Yeah, and then you shit your brains out.
A lot of sleep experts aren't sure the whole sleep maxing thing is actually a good trend. prioritizing your sleep is great, but obsessing about it might be backfire because you're doing that. There's a term now called orthosomnia for when you become too focused on sleep tracker data. Studies have found that the data isn't always accurate or reliable. So instead of sleep maxing, the better strategy might be to just relax. So instead of sleep maxing, the better strategy on Intelligence for Your Life might be just relax. Stick to a regular routine and do what I do. I'm John Tess, and I take heroin before every sleep cycle.
It took me a while to find your music.
Intelligence for Your Life. Gen Xers, anyway.
You know what's great for sleeping, and they're not even sponsored today, is Liquid IV makes a.
Yes,
I think it's God, what is it? It has lavender in it, I think, but it's great, and you drink it a half hour before you go to bed. And
smells fantastic.
Love
too.
it, love it.
And finally today, Diddy might be freaky, but he's got nothing on the Brady Bunch. Yeah, I'm the last guy in the world who would bring a Brady Bunch story.
What are
but
you
this one was
doing?
too
This
good.
is something you hate.
Barry, the real Greg Brady Williams, says they were getting busy during the Brady Bunch. Here's the quote. We all hooked up with each other at some point. Not necessarily while we were filming. That makes it sound like every boy got with every girl and vice versa. But when Barry explains it further, it appears that he just means they paired off by age. He says, quote, I dated Maureen McCormick and Chris Knight dated Eve Plum. And Michael Lookenland and Susan Olsen had a little mock wedding at one point. So, yes, we all hooked up. If you're confused, that means Greg got it on with Marcia, Peter gave the business to Jan, and Bobby played ball in the house. And everybody, man and women, did it with Alice.
Yeah, even
That's
Tiger,
what
Mike.
Even Tiger. Who's Tiger? Woods?
The dog.
The dog. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, that's good. The Tiger. It was nasty. Absolutely nastiness on the set.
Man, can you imagine, though, that stain, Greg Brady getting Maureen McCormick?
Marcia was Maureen McCormick, right?
Yeah.
Is that Marcia? Marcia.
Marsha.
Heartthrob for millions of young boys out there in the day. We'll take a break and come right back, everybody. Hey, let's face it. Everybody has to deal with bugs in and around your house. If bugs are even a minor problem for you, do what Rob does. You have to check out our next sponsor, Pesty. With summer winding down and the nights getting colder, spiders, ants, and other bugs are looking to find somewhere warm to nest. With Pesty's do-it-yourself pest control, you can make sure they don't choose your house. Pesty is on a mission to provide pro-grade pest control products at an affordable price. With Pesty, there's no more waiting for the bug guy to show up when you can spray it yourself in just a few minutes. Pesty makes a customized treatment plan for you based on your location's bugs and climate. And the best part, Pesty is a kid and pet-friendly solution, so you do not have to worry about their safety. Plus, Pesty offers a 100% bug-free guarantee or your money back. Seriously, no questions asked. Now is the time to protect your home from bugs for less with Pesty. Head to pesty.com/TMOS and use code TMOS for an extra 10% off your order. That's pesty.com/TMOS for 10% off. And make sure you use our promo code TMOS so they know that we sent you, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't realize he sounds good today, Josh, but Rob had a bit of a sick weekend. Your annual sinus infection that you get.
It's so weird that on Thursday morning, one thing I do like to check every day is my memories on Facebook. And on that exact day, in two different time areas, like 8 years ago and 2 years ago, I had gotten a prescription for a sinus infection. And I can feel when they come on because they get, it's really gross.
How come you get so many of them?
I don't know. My father is the same way. It might be a genetic flaw, a design flaw.
All right.
But I know when I'm getting one, and this is really gross, by the flavor in my mouth because you can taste it.
All right. Okay.
I know it's gross. I'm sorry, but I went into
Christ. Well, it's just not just gross, but it's not information that was really necessary.
I thought you know because it's whenever a Harry Potter cast member dies.
every time one dies.
That's when he does it. Hey, kudos to
Every
Baltimore.
So I went to the urgent care and I sat in, and it was great. There was only like 2 people there, so I got in and out in a fairly regular fairly timely basis.
How do you know if you have a sinus infection? It's the taste.
I did tell him that, and he says, well, you know better than what I can see here now, but it looks like you could be having one coming up.
Thanks for sharing, Mr. Spiewak. We appreciate it.
The doctor was so awesome. He said, what's your favorite antibiotic? I said, oh, I don't know, whatever will knock it out. And he gave me, I think he gave me Augmentin. And I said, and I've been coughing. And he said, oh, I'll prescribe you some of the anti-cough pearls, which is something that's been around for 3 or 4 years, I think.
Those are the ones you put in your ass.
They're on a string. Taking them out is the worst.
Oh, or the best. All right.
But I said, the pearls don't work for me. He said, well, how about some cough syrup with codeine? I said, that works for me. And so he prescribed me the
Now, how
heavy-duty
much of
cough
that
syrup.
was that it works, and how much is that you just wanted to duplicate Elvis Presley's favorite cocktail?
No, there's none of that.
Well,
Because
it's
I've
for
been
some sleep maxin.
Yeah, sleep maxin. That's it. Absolutely.
So,
cough syrup with codeine.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes you get it and it tastes nice. This is very medicine-y. Very
Does it knock you out?
medicine-y.
Does it knock you out quick?
Slept till 10 o'clock on Saturday. Slept till
Really?
just after noon yesterday. So, yeah, it does put you away, which
Oh,
is nice
good.
because you're not coughing either.
Send me a box.
I did not. We're just dressing.
I'll send you a box.
Well, I did not take any this morning because I wanted to stay awake for most of the show.
You sound good, but I can tell that you're working hard today because you're a little under the weather. I get it.
A little bit.
But you
bit,
sound good, so whatever you're taking has to be working. I've heard you when I couldn't tell today when we got together. Couldn't
The
tell
one
at all.
thing is that it's giving me some lower register if I need it, which is really kind of weird for me. And also because Carrie and I don't speak. A lot of times when I wake up in the morning, I'd get a phone call and I'd pick up the phone. I go, hello. And it would surprise me because I didn't expect my voice to be off. But because of the sleepiness and keeping it low this weekend, I watched 2 things on television that I recommend. One series, I watched the entire thing. I watched 8 episodes. I binged the whole thing. It's on Netflix and it's called, let me make sure I get this right, Nobody Wants This. And it has Kristen Bell in it, who is just so
I've
cute.
seen the poster for that on Netflix. That's interesting. Yeah.
And
comedy?
she plays a podcaster, which I
Okay.
thought, oh, this is going to be horrible. But actually, she's a podcaster who does a sex-related podcast who falls in love and starts dating a rabbi played by Adam Brody. And I said, this is too cutesy. I'm going to hate this. But actually, some of the stuff about podcasting is quite true.
Okay.
And actually, the writing is great. Do you know the guy who played the super dick on Veep? The tall guy that was like
Bald guy?
no, not bald. He was an assistant sort, and he was just an absolute ass. But he plays another great ass on this show. I recommend it highly.
Okay.
Now the other one, and
What's
you
the
can
name of
binge
the
it-
show again?
It's
'cause
called
I'll make-
Nobody Wants This.
Okay, I've seen that. They're really pushing it on Netflix. That's good.
I'm downloading it right now for my flight.
There you
I
go.
think you'll enjoy it. And
Josh is
the
going to
se-
Baltimore. If you just tuned in, Josh is going to Baltimore for the Orioles game.
That's what the second B in Rob stands for. Baltimore.
Baltimore.
So
Baltimore. Rob.
the other one I started watching last night, and it got to the point where it said, Netflix wants to know, are you still watching this? I'm sorry, Mike, I'm touching my head. I know you hate that. Stop it.
I don't just hate it. Josh hates it too.
I never
No.
said I hated it. It's just new. Just a lot of that.
Stop it, guys. Come on.
All right, go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
never wanted to be on television.
Go ahead. What's the other show you're watching?
The other show is called Monsters or Monster, and it's about Eric and Lyle Menendez.
Oh,
and-
you mentioned that last week.
Yeah, and the thing is I guess they killed their parents in like 89. So I was in college and not following this stuff. So a lot of this story is new to me. I had forgotten that one of the Menendez boys was bald, which is a great reveal.
Oh,
in
that's
this-
right. Like wore a tube.
Yes, it's
Back
a major
even
plot
back
line.
in the day, right?
Yeah, this is a major plot line in the
And
movie.
by the way, didn't they? I mean, they were murdered brutally, right? Weren't they shotgunned in like the back?
Shotgun. Yeah, because
Back of the head?
Because you could get a shotgun without showing 2 IDs. So it's The whole story is very, very
you
well
got
told.
me. You got me on both, but you really might have hooked me on the monsters. I might have to take a peek at that.
Stay
one.
with it, man. And the
Now-
performances are great. It's really
I've got-
eerie how dark it is.
I've got this in front of me. It's 9 episodes, an hour each. It's 9 hours.
Well, I think it's just under an hour. I watched, I think, 4 of them yesterday, maybe 4.5.
Binging.
Pretty
I love
addictive.
binging. You don't like binging, Josh? I love
No,
binging.
I do. It's
Okay.
just that's a deep dive into these guys.
I bet
Well, there's a
Carla
lot
might
going
like it.
on.
I might
But
do
I-
it. I like to have
I
something to
will
watch
give it a
with
try.
Okay.
I
very
didn't
good.
know about there's a whole bunch of crooked lawyering going on and a sexual undertone and a very unsavory sexual undertone I didn't know about. It's really well researched, and I think it would be a good story if someone made it up. But the fact that it's all based on truth made me grab my head because it was wild.
I mean, they were the big story, and
Oh,
of course
yeah.
they had a famous sister who was turbo hot that
Really?
doesn't get a lot. Yeah, Eva Menendez.
That's not the same, Mike.
I'm sorry. I forgot that Monsters. I really want to check out. That's
Check it out.
That's exact. Did you watch any
Oh,
of
and
the television with codeine and cough syrup?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yes. And you know who plays Mr. Menendez?
Who's that?
Javier Bardem.
Oh,
Great.
A-lister
What a
Hollywood
dick
guy.
he was.
Okay, we'll take a break and come back with beautiful video, everybody. Hey, everybody. It's easy to be your best self with DermGlow. DermGlowSkin.com. Just 1 dose a week, and you're on your way to losing 21 to 26% of your weight while improving blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. But what if you don't like needles? This is new at DermGlowSkin.com. Do you have an injection objection? I love
What?
that. Well, never fear. Sublingual semaglutide drops are here. That's right, drops. You just put them under your tongue and you are off to the races. And if you don't qualify for semaglutides or tirzepatide, we offer weight loss with sermorelin. And that's available through dermglowskin.com too. It's an injection or tablet. It doesn't get any more convenient than that, kiddo. The products are delivered to your door in 7 to 10 business days, and you can qualify from the comfort of your home. Afterpay is coming soon, so it's time to try DermGlow. There's the sinus infection right there.
I brought down the wrong fader. What an idiot.
Start your transformation today at dermglowskin.com. I'm Mike O'Mara, and I approve this message, ladies
Hey, I
and
like
gentlemen.
that. Some beautiful video.
You know, for the longest period of time, I decided that I was not going to share any of my golfing videos, but then I got such a positive reaction when people, saw me out on the links, and they just liked the activity, and I didn't think it
A
was...
lot of people. You saying they see the video. It's not like you're being approached by people on the course.
No,
It's
I have a
saying, "Show that
videographer.
video."
I have a videographer that travels with me and really, really documents everything from arriving at the golf club to teeing off to riding around in a golf cart. And this is a brief one, but I know
Is
you're
it like
clamoring
Curb
for
Your
it.
Enthusiasm?
It's exactly the same thing with manufactured lines that we have.
Thank you.
We now go to, we'll call this segment Curb Your Golf. Check out this week's video from me on the golf course, ladies and gentlemen. I think you'll really enjoy it.
The cart stops
Josh,
short,
we'll do a replay on that
and the
one.
guy
Okay.
goes through the windshield.
I like the guy in back of him too.
I
know that almost rear ends.
Could you
the
do
guy.
that? Can we do that at 3? One more time?
Oh my God, the guy almost hits.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Although,
that.
Mike,
I
it
really
speaks well for the braking on a club car brand golf cart. I don't know that you could do that on an Easy Go.
I take you now to memory lane, Rob, with the days that you liked booze. And if you and I were strolling along a locality and saw this sign, we might be pissed, but we probably would get duped. Take a look at this little sign that we have.
It says, "Come in, free beer."
Now look closely.
And then in very tiny font, "Come in, Wi-Fi is free, beer is good."
There
Jerks.
it is. Jerks.
That's
you jerk
no good.
stores.
I would still be okay with it.
I'm not sure. A lot of these, as I like to qualify when I'm playing beautiful video, I like to tell you that I'm not sure how it happened. Could be a fake, could be a non-fake. I don't know. It appears to be real, but this is another new sitcom that I call Hammock on a Bus. Hammock on a bus.
There's no hammocks. We've got a whole.
Where's the no hammock sign?
We got a whole list of things. No, I can see you can't see me. If you don't come out of that.
I'm not here.
The police. No.
Oh my god.
So there's a hammock on the bus.
Oh my god.
I won't be stopped. I said I won't be stopped. You see that?
Oh my god.
That is, you know what? That can't be a sitcom because that guy is criminally insane. And that's a tie-dyed hammock too.
It's a tie-dyed hammock, Dave.
Makes
Were
me
you,
want to take the light rail this week.
Yeah, it does.
It does. I have to ask you this.
Is it me or that looked like a school bus? That didn't look like a city bus. That looked
maybe we will never know. We will never know about that. Rob, what were your feelings when you first heard Billie Eilish?
The first song was that song Bad Guy, and I thought it had a sound like I'd never heard. Thought it was really good. And then as I got more into her music, I got to like her even more. But I thought that first hit single was a little groundbreaking because it was you're gonna hate that I say this. It was a sexy record and it sounded great.
I think that if I was a music producer, I would do what this person did when he discovered Sophia Isella by saying, Billie Eilish is great, but I think you can sing softer than Billie Eilish. I give you, ladies and gentlemen, the song stylings of Miss Sophia Isella. I believe that's her name. I hope I didn't get it wrong. Let's listen, shall we?
The doll people are not men. They are made of ice and glass. Our skin is clay and painted blue. Our head can detach. We are statues with a pulse. We are art you can feel.
I think she said a bad word there.
The doll people are quiet.
What
is there to say? Art does not interpret itself. There are men with a day to say.
I take a hard pass on this.
I think she's whale tailing too.
Well, I don't know if you can whale tail if she's wearing like a one piece.
Yeah, you can. A little bit.
I'd have to see her ass.
I like the doll people. I like Sophia Isella. I hope I got her name right.
I like that she worked her breathing into the music.
Yeah. Does she still run that train from D.C. to New York?
The Isella. God. He's not. The drugs are work for him today.
In a hammock.
In a hammock. You remember last week when I was talking about repopulating moving the show, expatriating the show to Thailand?
Yes.
All right. I'm glad that I have evidence. There's another video showed up on my feed. And Rob Spiewak, I know you are a Virginian for life, but check out. You're also one of the cheapest men I know. Check this video out and listen to what you can do over there.
All right.
Costs to live in Thailand as a digital nomad? Let's find out.
A modern condo in Bangkok
Costs as little as $400 a month. And this is how much food will set you back. Noodles for breakfast, $1.
Lunch delivered to your condo,
Only $2. Or come to a market and grab dinner for $2. And finish the day right with some mango sticky rice.
Let's be real, I would never cook again.
Who needs a car when you can get a Grab for $2? Or take one of these for less than $1. Or jump in a tuk-tuk for $5.
When it comes down to work, you can always find a cool co-working space in the center of Bangkok from $190 a month.
The real treat is going to the movies. It's $9 for a seat, or for $30 you can watch a movie in a bed.
And with all the money you've saved, you can get a massage every day for $8.
So, would you move to Thailand?
There it is.
I don't know.
She was asking you, Rob.
I will. The massage is intriguing.
$8.
I know. For that, 2 hours, please.
$8. Wow.
But you got to eat noodles for breakfast.
Yeah, but I mean,
and you know what?
Stop it. What are you going to? Okay, you can't have your bacon. You can have your bacon and eggs too. I'm sure it's all cheap.
Who's checking? I'd like to see the paperwork on that for all those prices.
Rob, you know what I think, and I believe this with all my heart. I think if you had one night in Bangkok, the world would be your oyster. Murray Head. No, it's not. No, we're not going to break. What are you doing? Come on.
That was a really strong close. I thought you were.
No, this is a really strong close.
From the musical chess, Murray Head, please.
This Murray Head. One night in Bangkok, and the world's your oyster. No, the kicker here is a business naming service. Take a look at this.
Rick's Naming Services. What's your business?
Plumbing.
And what's your first name?
Oh, it's Steve.
Steve, you are now Steve's Plumbing. Next.
I'm also a plumber named Steve.
What's your last name?
Olson.
Olson's Plumbing. Next.
We own a concrete business.
What's the first initial of your last name?
M.H.
M&H Construction.
I have a concrete business too.
You guys pretty good?
Yeah.
Would you say that your work is quality?
Yeah.
Quality concrete. Moving on.
LA Tile.
Spice this one up a little bit. Where are you located?
Fargo, North Dakota.
Fargo Tile next.
I also lay tile in Fargo.
Tough one. You got anything close to your shop?
There's a river.
Red River Tile next.
You are not gonna f***ing believe this, but I also lay tile in Fargo by the river. Oh yeah, actually that one is pretty tough.
What's your favorite cardinal direction?
South.
Southtown Tile. Next.
I got an auto body shop.
And what do you do every day?
Usually I just fix stuff.
You're fixing auto body shop.
We do steam cleaning.
And where are you located?
Cleveland.
Cleveland Steamers. Next. Come back. That's probably not going to fly.
There you go, ladies. Now we go to break.
Yeah, I'm
How about
sorry,
that,
Mike?
everybody? Beautiful video.
As the great Murray Head sang, Mike, I get my kicks above the waistline, sunshine.
There you go. Murray Head. That was his real name.
You've had to
folks.
play that record a few times.
Oh, my God. 80s, everybody. Hey, we'll be right back with more fun and more thrills and more beautiful video on the Mike O'Mara Show. Hey, you know, one of the best ways to enrich your life is language.
Yes.
Oh, my son could tell you that. So if you want to expand your horizons, you need Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone has been a trusted expert for 30 years with millions of users, and they offer 25 languages. We're talking Spanish, French, Italian, German, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch, Arabic, Polish. Polish, the language of Josh and Rob's people.
Yeah.
That's right. Both. They are so Polish.
We're going to speak Polish to each other in just a few weeks.
Rosetta Stone immerses you in the language. No English translations, so you really learn to speak, listen, and think in that language. It's designed for long-term retention. Rosetta Stone is also an amazing value, a lifetime membership that offers lifetime access to all 25 language courses that Rosetta Stone offers for 50% off. That is a steal. Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. Our listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/today/TMOS today. Right? Is that a TMOS code after that?
No
just
TMOS.
/today.
It's today. That is the tone. So that is the all right.
Code.
rosettastone.com/today. That's the code. All right, wanted to make sure. They're a brand new sponsor, and we welcome them. 50% off, unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/today, and do it right now.
Jerry Todd.
Mike, I am not an unfeeling, uncaring, hateful hump as many people think I am. And I'm not a big football fan. People know this, but I thought this was very nice. It's always sad when a disease attacks someone unexpectedly, and they have, especially a public person, they have to deal with it in the public eye. Brett Favre, of course, let go in a rather unceremonious way last week that he had Parkinson's. He said it on at Congress.
Yeah, and there's controversy around it because there's some people that are throwing darts at him right now about it, saying he's just doing it because he's in trouble. So
well, I don't think that's the case, but I thought this was. He posted this over the weekend on social.
Brett, I just wanted to thank everyone for your support after the news that I had Parkinson's when I was tested by him at Congress. Unbelievable show of support, and I want you to know I truly appreciate it. Hopefully this will shed some light on concussions and head trauma and also Parkinson's. There's a lot of people that are out there with it. Some know it, some don't know it. So it can happen to anyone at any time. So again, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it.
You know what? Even if it is somehow,
I don't know.
I
forget. I did. And by the way, I say that not like there are a lot of people. There was one particular individual that I'm not sure who it is. I will do my research and try to get back to you on that one. But I heard there was a little controversy. He looks like he could go out and play right now.
It was cool to see the Packers' current quarterback, Jordan Love, show up to the game in a Packers jersey to honor Brett.
Yep. Very cool.
And you know what? If it does bring more recognition, more attention to a problem that's obviously a problem, how can you fault a man for that? How can you fault him for that?
Absolutely.
Mike, I sometimes go through so many pieces of copy and paper and commercials and things. I read things wrong. I thought this said poo canoe. It's not a poo canoe. This is a Pucano, and this is in China. And what happened? Yeah, it's not a poo canoe. It's a Pucano because
ruptured sewage line.
Mike, you nailed it. And you wonder how much is the pressure in a ruptured sewage line before it ruptures.
Oh man,
it's enough to put its contents over 30 feet in the air, nearly 4 stories. Now we have 2 clips here. One we're going to have to describe. One you can hear. So let's go to China. Here's the Pucano. They're driving down the street. And a massive
So it looks like
cloud.
a methane gas explosion.
Oh, it's not gas though. So
it's solid, but I'm saying that's probably what caused the explosion.
Yeah, and they're thinking it was 31 feet in the air, and that's. But listen to this. There's a guy driving, and there's the explosion. And listen to his windshield.
Oh no! Oh God! Oh God! Oh, that is pure nastiness.
You really have to make sure you have the washer fluid topped off in your car.
That is horrible. Oh my God!
A bad week for Mayor Adams of New York City.
You're not kidding.
I think. What did they get him for? Flagging? Was he kiting?
Influence peddling.
But he has, this is funny because they've been going through lots of tapes of him, and they found he has a special catchphrase he uses when he wants to make certain people feel, I don't know, embraced by New York City. This is a montage of the mayor speaking over the last few years.
Everyone knows that New York City is the Athens of America. It's the Istanbul of America. It's the keys of America. It's the soul of America. We are the Tel Aviv of America. New York City is the Islamabad of America. The Zagreb of America. We are the Lima of America. New York City is Mexico City of America. This is the Dublin of America, New York City.
So maybe he needs a new speechwriter. I don't know.
Wow.
Really
How
sad
about
when
that
they
guy?
get caught like that, huh?
Yeah, really. What a drag. What a drag, man.
Speaking of New York, we had some really good food when we were living in New York or going to New York for the show.
Best eating city in America. Absolutely. Everybody knows that.
There's a restaurant. It's sort of hidden off of Broadway, and it's run by 2 recognized Michelin chefs. It's called Bird Box. And they're selling a chicken sandwich, as Jim Nance would say, unlike any other.
Unlike any other.
Because it is a deep-fried chicken sandwich like you would get anywhere, except theirs still has the chicken foot attached.
I'm Square. We opened in July, and we're here with the Claude, our famous sandwich. And we serve the sandwich as a testament to the quality of the chicken that we serve. And that goes for the wings and the breast sando, but this is our see it and believe it proof. So the foot is our...
So it's an actual chicken breast and thigh combo.
Yeah,
I guess,
but the foot's not attached to the breast, is it?
Well, they have to go far up to make that happen. And they have a special butcher, they say.
What do you mean they have to go far up?
I mean, they have a special butcher that they have that actually makes this cut for them. If you cut up from the foot, eventually it will connect to the breast, and they debone it, but they leave the foot on. So if you want a chicken sandwich with an inedible foot on it,
don't you think they just take a foot and stick it in there when they deep fry it?
I think they
just
stick
glue
a
the
foot.
two together.
You can't.
They say it's connected.
It's connected to the leg. It's not connected to the breast.
How
Rob,
are
they
you
couldn't
gonna debone
do
it
that.
and leave the leg there?
Listen, I'm only reporting the news. All right, that's what Bird Box said.
No, but I mean, it's probably they. I don't.
Did you
doubt
see the size of it?
But it's a chicken. There's no way the leg would go right to the. That's a chicken breast. I can recognize it as a chicken breast with a leg sticking out of it.
What if they deboned it and folded it over?
I don't know.
Does it open up to a larger chicken?
I don't know.
It says it's a thigh, not a breast.
Oh, it is. Oh, so that it is the leg.
All right.
Right? Is that true?
Well, yeah. If you see like a leg quarter, it has the thigh and then the drumstick. So yeah, you know what?
Leg bone, thigh bone connected to the knee bone, knee bone connected to the foot
Mike,
bone.
I would rather probably be put down than go into hospice care because I've dealt with people that have been in hospice care, and I think it's very sad. It's very sad.
But ho. I just want to say one thing. Hospice people are
they're marvelous.
The greatest in the world.
Best.
And as far as I can, my personal experience with my mom, the ability to let people know in a sensitive way what stage we were
Yeah.
at was so valuable, and she was so young and she was so brilliant, and I just my experience was positive, but I didn't mean
It's
to.
no, it's
get in your way
wonderful.
here.
I love the notion of hospice care. I just don't want to be there. That's my deal, and it's not. I've dealt with them, and they're
You
great.
don't want to go into it yourself.
No, I don't want to go into hospice care.
All
When
right,
it's
I
done,
don't think
it's
that's
done.
your choice.
Thank you.
I think normally someone else makes that choice for you.
Yeah. Right.
Well, guys, I hope you stand up for me and keep me out of hospice care when
Okay.
the time comes.
No problem.
Thank you. It's all in the papers. But this guy is 89 years old, Mike, and he's in hospice care, and he's made a lifetime, and he's logged them all, of jumping out of a plane with a parachute. Sort of legendary for it. And when you see this guy, I don't know, should they be letting this man parachute?
It's never too late to have an epic adventure.
Inland Empire reporter
This woman.
Leticia Juarez takes us along as a man in hospice care feels the thrill of skydiving one last time.
Gary Patmore is showing you're never too old for an extreme adventure.
So Gary, at this very moment, we need to make sure the furniture is in the center of the living room.
At 89 years young, the retired aerospace engineer is going skydiving.
God bless him.
It's fun, exciting.
While
God
he
bless
is a
you.
man of few words, Patmore is a man with plenty of adventure
God
under his
bless
belt.
him.
A logbook documents his more than 1,300 jumps out of
1,300.
civilian, antique, and experimental aircraft.
Oh man, that's
I don't
sweet.
know. You think it's sweet. I have a picture of maybe a pushy younger bride saying, we're going to make you jump. Do you think he was pushed out of the
what
plane?
is wrong? Your medication has messed your brain up, man. I swear to God, that's not a younger bride. That's his wife next to him.
Yeah, well,
Play it again. Play you have to play. This time I'm going to cry. I didn't want to do it with the chicken video, but I'm going to do it with this one. You'll
the
see
chicken
his
video always bared out by that.
You'll see.
Here is going skydiving.
I think you see his wife here.
It's fun,
Here's his wife.
She looks younger than him.
Well, it's probably a third wife.
Oh, God, you two are monsters. All right, play your next video for God's
But
sake.
Mike, I'm just saying, I don't want to see him pushed out of a plane.
He wanted to. He was with it.
He probably wants to die on the fall.
That
Oh,
could
wouldn't
be.
that be something?
Yeah.
Well, they probably
before
arranged
impact.
that if you wanted to. If you had an
Oh,
unscrupulous...
before impact.
Before impact. I'm saying.
So he hits the ground like a bag of rice? What's
Right.
No, just pass out on the way down.
Okay. Loosen that buckle, Mr. Splatt. All right, go
Senator Splatt.
Senator Splatt.
Let's close with this, Mike. It's a different world nowadays that you can have a surveillance cameras. And I just said that like Liddy. What a jerk. Surveillance cameras.
It's
Surveillance
BMW,
cameras.
Mercedes-Benz.
At least I caught myself. You can have surveillance cameras anywhere, and even, as you know, with the Ring camera, talk to people that are near them. Here's a home and garden place. I believe it was in Miami. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But they got an alert, and you wouldn't believe who was robbing their home and garden place, Mike. This is creepy. I don't like clowns.
Rain can be soothing and great for the plants here at JVI
This
Secret
guy.
Gardens.
I know.
Of course, we got our pansies in because it's that time of year. And this is our shade section.
Mike, watch out for the pansies.
But for
Okay,
owner
I
Derek
need-
Johnson, the gloomy day feels a little more unsettling after his business partner alerted him to something spooky on the business's surveillance cameras earlier this week.
And Aaron says, hey, there's someone at the garden center wearing a white mask. You need to get up there right now.
So Derek took a look.
And I see what's on the image. It's like, nope, I'm not going up there.
So you can see
Because
him there on
whoever
the
made it
surveillance.
inside-
Mike, it's a clown.
Yeah, it's a clown. It's an evil-looking clown.
But here's
It's
the thing.
Pennywise.
Well, you have to hear how this owner refers to the clown. That's my favorite part of the whole thing.
I'm not going up there.
Because whoever made it inside didn't need any magic tricks to clown around. Just a foot to kick in the back fence and some bad intentions.
The only thing I can describe it as is the character from the movie Pennywise.
Derek didn't know if this clown emerged from
Pennywise?
the covers or not.
The character from the movie Pennywise.
Pennywise. I mean, the
That's
movie
kind of
It.
like Doll Movie.
Pennywise.
The only thing I can describe it as is the character from the movie Pennywise. He went. His body wasn't going with him.
Did you get an description of the suspect?
I was over to the drug fair and I got an inscription for antibiotics, and I got it. That's like the movie Pennywise.
That's a great movie, Pennywise. Man, oh man, that's exciting. All right. Hey, we got to take a break. We'll come back with another episode tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, coming up this Saturday, 7 p.m., October 5th, ladies and gentlemen. It is the money-grubbing, naked greed. It is the Naked Greed Money Grubbing Radiothon Cocktail Hour, October 5th. Yes, thank you for putting that up there, Josh.
7
Otherwise
o'clock
I forget it.
Eastern time.
We will have Beetle Josh, Rob Spiewak dressed as
Jelly Rob.
as Jelly Rob, which is Jelly Roll, and I will be a minion.
Yes.
I've decided that
Mike
is a
O'Minion.
wonderful idea. Mike O'Minion. They all prop me up, folks. That's the way this show works. For Rob Spiewak and Josh Soroka, Mike O'Mara is saying so long, everybody.
Pennywise.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
So what do you want me to do? Drop my pants and fire a rocket?